if you can turn the sound off of a movie, think about every great movie that you love. Turn the sound off of a movie. Next time you watch The Godfather. Next time I watch The Godfather will probably be tonight. My 151st time. Or anything, and you can tell if the film's good. I see a lot of films. I have my cohort, Roxy Baker. We do a podcast. I host films around town, here and around. And I talk to my students. I said, of course, the screenplay, but you should be able to. I can tell, and this is not bragging, it's just I see a lot of film, and in 5 minutes I can tell if it's worth my time. And I would rather watch this again and see something, because you're always going to see something in the masterpiece. Great film. This film has grown over the years. It wasn't always highly touted. Roxy, I'd like to get a couple words from you and your friend.
Sure. Thanks, Jess.
Thank you.
The scope of the movie is huge when you think about 1956. I think we take it for granted now because people can get, they can CGI it in, right? But this was not, right?
Right.
The beauty of the nature scenes and everything is incredible.
Totally.
You mentioned that before.
Yeah, and he's not cheating in his shots. You feel the coldness of that river,
right?
Right. You feel the snow. You feel the dust.
Yeah.
Even them fighting in the house. You're fighting the dust, the dirt.
Right. And I mean, I thought of like The Revenant, of course, is modern
day.
But he did it back in '56 with all the different nature. It was beautiful.
That's a great.
Yeah.
I love The Revenant too.
Without a lot of technology, so it's beautiful.
Yes.
And then just the humor that you mentioned too. This nice lady here. I just thought I've never heard fiancé pronounced quite that way.
Oh.
I don't even know how he said it.
But you know what I'm saying? And that accent he put that accent on. It's a Colorado accent. John Wayne gave him some advice. He said, go in there, Pilgrim, and juice it up a little bit. Curtis, he said, you want it, because that's a small part, but you really get some mileage out of it. You remember.
Yeah.
And they're so polite to each other. I think that's after they beat the crap out of each other, after you, we're going to have a talk before we move forward.
And I think the beauty of this place, to see movies like this, for me, it's like to be able to go back in time. It's like, my grandfather was a huge John Wayne fan, so for me it's really special to just imagine my grandfather watching this, even though he's no longer with us.
Oh, yeah.
It just makes me feel good.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Your friend here?
Did you
comment? I didn't get you in. Yeah. Are you okay? Guys, you want to comment? Are you good? Did you like it?
Thank Paul and Petra and the Sarasota Film Festival. I'll leave you with this. I love Marty Scorsese. One of the reasons I love Marty Scorsese as much as, of course, I'm a fan of his film. Goodfellas and Raging Bull are to me on the top of the list. But he's a film he restores film, and he's just a wealth of information on films. He said there's a book out called The Making of a Legend. It's by Glenn Frankel. And he said that it's a fascinating book about the picture and the history behind it. The Searchers is perhaps the greatest Hollywood film that few people have seen. When you think about it, the character Ethan Edwards is one of the most unsettling in American cinema. In a sense, he's a piece with Wayne's persona and his body of work with Ford and other directors like Howard Hawks and Hathaway. It's the greatest performance of a great American actor. Not everyone shares this opinion. For me, Wayne has not only become more impressive over time, and he has, if you look at his body of work. I just want to read you the end of this article, which talks about some unsettling things. Bear with me. He watches this film. He says, I go back to The Searchers all the time. A few years ago, I watched it with my wife, and I will admit that it gave me pause. Many people have problems with Ford's Irish humor, which is almost always alcohol-related. For some, the frontier comedy scenes with Ken Curtis are tough to take, but again, I don't think they're geez, I need to get better glasses. They mar the comedy. They mar the film. These interludes are as much a part of the director's universe as Shakespeare's clowns are part of his. For me, the problem was the scenes involving the plump Comanche woman. The plump Comanche woman, who's the wife, Beulah Archuleta, that the Hunter character inadvertently takes as a wife. Then, in some low comedy in these scenes, Hunter kicks her down the hill. And as Max Steiner's music amplifies the moment with a comic flourish, then the tone shifts dramatically, again, like you said. That's what he does. He plays, and Wayne and Hunter both become ruthless and bullying, scaring her away. Later, this is the key, see? Later, they find her body as a Comanche, at the Comanche camp has been wiped out by American, and you can feel their sense of loss. They're making fun, they're empathetic, and then they're sad about this poor lady. All the same, the passage seemed unnecessarily cruel to me. And I'm almost done. This is just the end. This is brilliant, actually. You'll love this. But the last time I saw The Searchers, the picture seemed even greater than ever. And it's not the scene that it stopped. That scene did not stop troubling me. In fact, it troubled me on an even deeper level. In truly great films, I'm going to say that again. In truly great films, the ones that people need to make, the ones that start speaking through them, the ones that keep moving into territory that is even more and more unfathomable and uncomfortable, nothing's ever simple or neatly resolved. You're left with a mystery. In this case, the mystery of a man who spent 10 years of his life searching for someone, realizes his goal, brings her back, and then walks away. Wow, God, just got a chill. Only an artist as great as John Ford would dare to end a film on such a note. In its final moment, The Searcher suddenly becomes a ghost story. Ethan's sense of purpose has been fulfilled, and like the man whose eyes he shot out, he's destined to wander forever between the winds. Wow. That'll be the day. That's a Buddy Holly song. Well, guys, you know what? See cinema like this, man.